Hello, grade 9 students, and welcome to your first grammar lesson, which is the simple present tense. By the end of this lecture, you should be able to identify the uses of the present simple tense, identify the form of the present simple tense, and use the simple present tense or present simple tense correctly in different contexts. Okay, first of all, when we learn any tense, I teach you its uses. For the simple present tense or present simple tense, we have 6 uses. Let's begin. Let's read each of the following 6 sentences to deduce the uses of the present simple. Sentence number 1, self-confidence is a necessary survival trait. Here I use the present simple, is, not was. Why? Because self-confidence is a necessary survival trait is a general fact. 2, we usually spend summertime in the mountains. We spend. I also use the present simple tense. Why? Because I am expressing a habitual action. So first use general fact, second use habitual action. It's a habit. We usually spend summertime in the mountains. I sometimes go to the movies at night. He seldom visits this town, etc. So it's a habitual action or it's a habit. Third use, Emma believes in her ability to succeed at her new job. Emma believes, thinks, it's an opinion. So we also use the present simple tense when we express an opinion. So general fact, habitual action, opinion. Sentence number 4, the temperature reaches 35 degrees Celsius in this town during summer. What am I expressing here? A fact. So what tense do I use? The present simple. The temperature reaches. It reaches. Our plane leaves to Madrid at 10 a.m. Now this is a scheduled future action, by the way. It isn't something in the present, it's in the future, but because it is on a schedule, on a timetable, I use the present simple to express it. Our bus arrives at 7:30 a.m. It hasn't arrived yet, but because it's on a timetable, on a schedule, I use the present simple. Our plane leaves to Madrid at 10 a.m. Scheduled future action. This is the 5th use. Finally, when you arrive, the 6th use, when you arrive at the beach, please send me a message. This is called a time clause. Words like when, before, after, those are called time clauses. When you arrive at the beach, where's the time clause here? The time clause is where we have the time expression like when, before, after. In this part of a sentence, this sentence is made of 2 clauses divided by a comma. The first clause is a time clause. So the verb that is used in the time clause is used in what tense? Yes, in the present simple tense. You arrive. When you arrive at the beach, please send me a message. Moving on. So the present simple is used, 1, to express a habitual action, a general or a scientific fact, okay, 2 uses here, opinion, scheduled future action when something is on a timetable, or in a time clause with words like when, before, after, etc. Okay? Now, let's move on to the form. How do we form it? How do we write it? How do we write the verb when it is in the present simple? A person with low self-confidence avoids social gatherings. Where's our subject here? The subject, by the way, is the focus of our sentence. Who or what are we talking about here? Who or what are we talking about? A person. Our subject is a person, underlined here. A person with low self-confidence avoids. A person is he or she, avoids. Notice we added an S. With he, she, it, we add s depending on the ending of the verb. Second, they avoid. I did not add s. I only add s when I have when the subject is he, she, or it. I, you, we, they, I do not add an s. They avoid going to the mountains. The subject is they, the verb is avoid. Let's see what we can deduce. We conclude that with third person subject pronouns he, she, it, we add s, es, or ies to the verb depending on the ending. For example, if you have study, you remove the y and you add ies, okay? Depending on the ending. With the other subject pronouns I, you, we, they, the verb remains the same. We go to the beach every Sunday in summer. She goes to the beach every Sunday in summer, okay? I, you, we, they, it remains the same. He, she, it, we add s, es, or ies depending on the ending of the word. They have spelling rules. Now this is a very important note here, frequency adverbs. Those are key words that tell you that this sentence is in the present simple. Frequency adverbs like always, frequently, usually, often, sometimes, rarely. Rarely means very little. Seldom also means very little. Occasionally means from time to time. Scarcely means very little, or never. You know what never means. Those and several more, when you see them, when you spot them in a sentence, it means you need to use the present simple tense. They often come before the action verb. This is very important, guys. So focus here. Those frequency adverbs come before the action verb, but after the verb be. Let me give you an example here. She usually eats. Where's my verb? Eats. Where is the frequency adverb? Here. Before the main verb. The frequency adverb usually is written before the action verb eats. Now let's take a look at the other sentence. She is usually late for work. Now, where's the verb? Is. But remember, is, it is verb be. Am is are. So what happens with the frequency adverb? Where do we write it? After. After the verb be. Before the action verb, but after the verb be and only verb be, meaning is, am, are. Okay? She is usually late for work. When I give you correct the one grammar mistake and I write she usually is late for work, that's a mistake. You correct it. She is usually late for work. Very important note here. And for those of you who are taking the official exam this year, they like those sort of questions in the correct the one grammar mistake. Okay? And for all of you, I like these types of questions on my quizzes and on my tests. Moving on, negative and question forms. Affirmative means a regular sentence. Jen, she, participates in the school play every year. She, it ends with an E, so we just add S. Negative form, Jen does not. This is how we make it negative. You add verb do with she. Jen does not participate in the school play every year. In the question form, does. You put the verb at the beginning. Does Jen participate in the school play every year? Notice how we added verb do to make the negative and question forms of the sentence. In any given sentence, if you do not have a helping verb like am, is, are, have, you have to add the verb do in order to make negative and question form. Jen does not participate. How do you make that a question? Does Jen, you just make the crisscross, does Jen participate in the school play every year? Notice, do we have an S here? No, where's the S? The verb do took the verb. Took the present simple, so this one remains in the base form. Okay, remember this, also very important. On the correct grammar mistakes, they might tell you, or I might tell you, does Jen participates in the school play every year? That's a mistake. Does, it took the tense, does Jen participate in the school year? You can't have two tenses in the same sentence. The tense is with does. Okay, another sentence. Affirmative. Jake is a self-confident person. Here's our verb. He is a self-confident person. Negative. Jake, we do have a helping verb. You can not say does. We already have a little verb here. All we have to do is add not. Is not or isn't. Both are perfectly correct. Jake is not. Now, how do we make it a question? Every time we make a question, we need to put the verb at the beginning and the subject after it. You invert the places of the subject and the verb. Is Jake a self-confident person? Okay, no need to add do or does. So, as I said in the previous slide, this is a quick summary. When we do not have a helping verb, we add verb do to make the negative and question forms. Do or does, of course, depending on the subject. I, you, we, they do. He, she, it does. When we have a helping verb, those are the helping verbs, the little verbs in a sentence, is, has, have, am, are, etc. We use that verb and do not add the verb do. Okay, here you're supposed to write one sentence for each of the uses of the present simple tense. I did that for you. Number one, a general fact, something everybody agrees on. Hard work leads to success. Why did I add an S? Because hard work is the subject, it. It leads to success. General fact. Rob likes. He likes to take a walk by the river every morning. Every. Okay, so this is a frequency adverb. Habitual action, present simple. 3. Fact. Smoking, it. Okay, smoking takes the pronoun it. Harms the lungs, that's a fact. My favorite color is black. That's an opinion. My favorite color, it is black. 5. The movie begins. It begins at 9 today. Scheduled. That's on a timetable. So I use the present simple tense. Finally, with the time expression in a time clause, I use the present simple. When you build. If I had written here he, when he, you would write S, when he builds, okay? So let's fill in the blanks here with the correct form of the verbs in brackets. My family and I enjoy nature. Of course, it remains enjoy because this is an opinion, okay? Enjoy, we enjoy. So every summer, I already see a frequency adverb here. Every summer weekend we plan. Plan remains the same because it doesn't change with we. A trip where we visit famous forests and camping sites. Lebanon, it. What's the present simple of be? Is, am, are. It is. Lebanon is known for its beautiful natural sites. This is a fact about Lebanon. Lebanon is. The scenes from the high mountains, the scenes are simply breathtaking. Again, it's an opinion. The scenes, they are. Remember, verb be in the present simple is, am, are. I am. he is, she is, it is, we are, they are in the present simple. Number 2, Tamer, he, okay, rarely. So this is a frequency adverb. So do I write Tamer visits rarely? Of course not. This is a frequency adverb and it needs to come before the verb. Tamer rarely visits his friends. He spends. This is a habitual action, a habit of Tamer. He spends most of his time playing video games. When they meet, time expression, so present simple. With they, it doesn't change, it remains the same. When they meet, it is usually, this tells me it's a present simple, online while they are playing a virtual video game like Fortnite. The answer is here displayed for you. When you're watching the video, you can stop, you can take a thorough look at the blanks. I urge you to do so. It's a very easy lesson, really, but sometimes the details might confuse you and cause you to make mistakes. So please be careful with the little details, like the frequency adverbs. Where do we write them? Before the main verb, but after verb to be. Okay, such little details you need to study. Now, correct the one grammar mistake in the following sentences. By the way, this is in your in the sheet I posted for you, but I will do it with you now, and you will only have to do part D. Because this is the first time we take correct the one grammar mistake in this class, so I wanted to do this with you. Correct the one, okay, grammar mistake in the following sentences, not two, just one mistake. Dan sleeps sometimes very late. Sometimes is a frequency adverb. Where should it go? Before the verb. This is not verb be, so this comes here. How do we write that? How do we write the correction? I'll show you in the next slide. And this is very important. In my tests and in the official exams, you have to write it in a certain way, and I'll show it to you, so please be careful. 2. Do you like chocolate? We can't write it here. The do, okay, you, do took the verb and you doesn't take S anyway. Do you like chocolate? Ice cream? 3. Robert do not play the guitar. Robert, he. I, you, we, they do. He, she, it does. Robert does not play the guitar. Number 4. Emily have 3 adorable kids. Emily, I, you, we, they have. He, she, it has. Emily has 3 adorable kids. Lynn and Jake is at the library. Lynn and Jake, they, of course, are at the library. Look at how we write them, please. When you correct them, you write the mistake, you put this arrow, you put an arrow, and you write the correction. I don't want you to rewrite the whole sentence. I just want you to do it this way. Where's the mistake here? Sleeps sometimes. You write the mistake, you write the correction. The mistake here in this sentence is likes. You write it and you write the correction after the arrow. Robert do not. Where's the mistake? Do. The correction is does. Emily have. The mistake. The correction. Lynn and Jake is. The mistake and the correction. Okay? So this is it. I'm going to send you the ebook. I would like you to read pages 6 and 8 of your grammar book very carefully and answer only D on page 10. Okay? So see you next time. For any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me or write them so that you can ask them to me on Zoom. See you. Stay safe.